Jane, a 10-year-old female, was referred by her psychologist, Dr. Jones, for an assessment. Jane's mother reported that Jane's academic performance is a concern and that she has experienced academic difficulties and has in the past as well. It is noted that Jane's most recent and standardized test results showed that she scored below average in reading, math, and language. After reviewing Jane's results from the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, it was found that Jane's general cognitive ability is within the average range and above 42% of children her age. Jane's verbal and nonverbal reasoning abilities are also in the average range. Jane's verbal reasoning, measured by the Verbal Comprehension Index, are in the average range and above 61% of her peers. Jane's nonverbal reasoning abilities, measured by the Perceptual Reasoning Index, are also in the average range and above 55% of her peers. She scored significantly higher on the arithmetic subtest than on the letter number sequencing test. Jane's speed of processing abilities, measured by the Processing Speed Index, are also in the average range and above 27% of her peers. However, processing visual material quickly is an ability that Jane performs poorly compared to her verbal reasoning abilities. The problems that have been noticed by Dr. Jones may be related to Jane's weakness in processing speed. Jane achieved her best performance among the nonverbal reasoning tests on the matrix reasoning subtest and her lowest scores on the block design subtest. Her performance across these areas differs greatly and shows that they are the areas with the most strength and weakness. The block design, which Jane scored the lowest, assesses the ability to mentally organize visual information. Jane's working memory abilities, measured by the Working Memory Index, are in the low average range, only above 18% of her peers. It was found that Jane had difficulty when asked to repeat long strings of numbers backwards, and this is evidence of weak mental control. Jane's abilities to sustain attention, concentrate, and exert mental control are weakness relative to her verbal comprehension and perceptual reasoning abilities. It is also noted that Jane's academic difficulties may be related to this weakness in mental control. Based on these results, overall, Jane scored average in her general cognitive ability, verbal abilities, and nonverbal reasoning abilities. Jane scored in the low average range in her working memory abilities. It is recommended that Jane frequently review information that she needs to remember. It is suggested that her family and teachers also review this information with her and provide her with positive reinforcement. It is also suggested that Jane is taught how to chunk information together to help her remember easier. As for Jane's family, it is suggested that the focus be more on supporting her efforts completing her homework instead of focusing on Jane achieving high grades.